I don't think it's possible to fully rely on a mentor in tech because even your mentor needs to keep up or else they're out. Working in tech makes you teach yourself a lot of things. And then I got really, really good in that particular line of work. Like I know JavaScript, I know SQL, I know Google Apps Script, I know automations, I know API. Because I'm into tech, I feel like I'm able to just figure things out. I knew I studied computer science. I knew everyone said with computer science degree, you can get a job anywhere. Yeah. But I wasn't seeing the job. So I had to start figuring things out myself. I just kind of knew what I wanted, but I wasn't sure of the exact step. I was just waking up and showing up. Just always advise people now, like you might not even know what you want to do now, but just keep going, just do positive things, create the habits, they will become something big. If you want it enough, you will go for it. My dad passed when I was in 300 level and things were tough. I was banking on his connections after graduation, but he passed when I was in year 3, so the connections didn't come. I didn't imagine that I will go through that.
What has been the journey like building out of Lagos, building Kikillet Jewelry?
I started with 500k that I saved from my money. That's 500,000 naira. In my mind, I wanted to put it inside dustbin. When you're starting a business, if possible, don't.
If you had to start a new business, would you go the same approach again? Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Amazing Experts with Joshua Olaniyi. On this episode, we have Okikiola Oloyede, right, a solutions engineer, and then also a founder of a jewelry business. So we're diving into our journey, looking at how she journeyed into tech and how business is actually going. This will be an interesting episode. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you.
How is it going? How is Lagos going? Business in Lagos?
Well, Lagos is Lagos, but I would say in Lagos, I don't feel like I'm part of the people that suffer the hustle and bustle because remote work. Yeah. So Lagos is good for me.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yes. So I would love to take you back, right? As a female in the tech space, a solutions engineer, and also a founder of a business, right? I'd love to know what were the early influences that shaped your ambition, or maybe I want to do stuff in the career or tech space, and maybe I even want to found a business. Were there early influences, maybe from family? Yeah, what was it for you?
Well, I won't really say there have been influences. I think it's just been who I am. So let me tell you something. When I was growing up, my mom had a shop where she was selling stuff. She was selling like soap, salt, and stuff like that in bulk. And then I was in primary school. I would buy like, for example, half a dozen of soap for 25 naira and then sell it pieces and make 30 naira and then make 500 naira again. I was literally less than 8 years old then, but I already knew like these things, this is how these things work. So that thing just kind of followed me through and through, and I just tried to always like sell stuff. I just needed to solidify it as an adult, and I planned for several months before. I dabbled into a lot of things, but I chose Kikillet Jewelry as a long-term business. Because I did a lot of research. Like I dabbled into the research for like months and months and months, like 6 months actually. And I saved money from like my job and then started it. I've dabbled into like several other things before, but I wouldn't say I was influenced by a family member because nobody handheld me for what I'm doing or what I did. I learned everything from scratch. So I wasn't really inspired by anyone around me, but maybe the society, but not like I didn't have anyone I looked up to. Yeah,
just felt like I wanted to do this.
Yes, I've always been doing this, so let me just do it. Like, let me plan. I'm an adult now. Let me just face this, and it's been rewarding.
I'd love to know what the timeline is like. You mentioned that you tried out a lot of things before you now chose like Kikillet Jewelry as the one you want to do long term. I'd love to know what were those other things you tried, and what's the timeline like? I know that you studied computer science in school, in the university, Ajayi Crowther University. Yeah. So I'd love to know when was it? Did you do stuff while in school? Did you try out those other things after school before you now say, I think I want to focus on the jewelry business?
Okay, so I didn't do anything while in school because I went to a private school. I wasn't schooling in Lagos. I didn't really know how to navigate things like that. Plus, I just wanted to face my studies. My parents weren't, they won't be open to the idea of doing stuff. However, after school, we were living in Otta. Otta has 2 universities. When I was in school, I remember like a lot of people used to come to my hostel to sell me things. They used to come, bring stuff to my room. I don't know if they sneak in or if they were allowed, but I found them in my hostel room. Oh, we have UK tops. Oh, we have this, we have that. We have this, things. We have these air clips. And I buy them. So I was like, there's 2 universities in this neighborhood. I need to do something. So then I buy stuff. It wasn't really even like an actual business. It was just me buying and selling. Go to the market, buy things, go into Bells University, go into Covenant University. Covenant University is very tight. But I still blended in because I was also young. I looked like one of them. I went to a private university too, so I looked like one of them.
Relate.
Yes, I can relate. So I went there. I knew what they wanted. So I began selling. So after school, that was kind of like my first dabbling. Right? So I used to go to Bells. Bells was kind of a little less strict. So they were also strict, but like a little less strict. And it was closer to me. So that was like where 60% of all the things I sold came from. But the remaining 40, I also dabbled into Covenant University a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of where I would say I started to sell.
That was just wears?
Wears, actually wears. Wears and then accessories, like hair clips and things like that. Yeah, headbands, things like that. So that's where I just thought of it and it was good. And honestly, my dad passed when I was in 300 level and things were tough. So after school, doing these things was really helpful. I think my mom would actually testify to this. Like those things I dabbled into was helpful at that period of time. It was like, she told me that she felt like I was God sent for doing those things at that time because I was able to bring money to the house at that time. So that really made me happy that, at least my dabbling brought something for my family. After that, NYC, I didn't do anything because I was again in a strange land. Then when I got back, I dabbled into hair selling too. I feel like the reason why I'm not a big hair vendor right now, it was because of capital then. And then I had to stop because it was like survivor for the fittest. Like people that had money were going to China, were going to, and then I was just this retail buyer. So I would say I didn't keep up with that. Or maybe I didn't just have enough passion for that. So, but those were some of the things I dabbled into. Clothing, hair, a little bit of hair.
And then jewelry.
Finally.
So we'll still do a deep dive into what the journey building Kikillet Jewelry has been like. Yeah, but you mentioned something very salient, the period where your mom had to now say that you're a God sent, right? Because you had that skill, ability to be able to sell, be able to bring something home. I think that's also the power of maybe just still, because in our own environment, it can be very tough. If you say maybe this is just the only thing I know how to do best, but being able to do multiple things, there can be moments when one of them just goes bad, or the economy or policies. But once you're able to do multiple things, you can always find your way around, and that really became very valuable. But then you studied computer science, right? I
did.
And then business on the other side. How did you manage both of them, especially at the early phase, before NYC, post NYC? Did you have the mind that I wanted to pursue both at once? What was it like?
Okay, so when it comes to my career, I would be very transparent. I didn't have it all figured out. I finished school pretty early. I think I was like 19. And that's why I caught some slack to people leaving school right now. Like, you might not know what you want to do yet. I knew I studied computer science. I knew everyone said with computer science degree, you can get a job anywhere.
Yeah.
But I wasn't seeing the job. I just, like I said, my dad had passed. I was banking on his connections after graduation, but he passed when I was in year 3. So the connections didn't come. They didn't come through. So I had to start figuring things out myself. So after some years after graduation, again, I dabbled into business. I decided, okay, I want to work with my degree. And then I got a job. It was not a tech job. But again, it's all about knowing where you're going to. I knew that this was not where I'm going to. It was just a stepping stone for me. So I got a job as a customer service person at a company. So I did that for about 2 years plus. But I kept upskilling myself. I kept staying in the loop because I knew where I was going. I didn't even really argue with my colleagues at then. Like most of them were trying to advance in that same company, but I knew where I was going. I was just focused. I was just going on and on and on. So as at then, I think I forgot to mention something. When I was working as the customer service in that company, the company is into health and beauty. So they were into importing of skincare products, pharmaceutical products. I also started selling skincare products, by the way.
Interesting.
On Jumia. I remember before work, I would go to Jumia office to ship products to customers. Jumia would, when the order comes, I get it in my email. I ship the products in a carton in Jumia office, and then Jumia pays me after 4 days or thereabouts. They pay weekly. So yeah, I did that actually for a while. I did that. So I just remember I've never not been doing anything.
Okay.
So yeah. So but I knew where I was going. And then in 2019, I would say I got my actual first tech job. Not my first job, but my actual first tech job that actually paved the way to where I think I am today. So that's where I got it. So it wasn't always a linear planning. I didn't always have anything figured out, honestly. I just kind of knew what I wanted, but I wasn't sure of the exact steps. I didn't really have mentorship opportunity. I was just waking up and showing up, basically. Like, this is what I want. This is what I didn't even have like the proper guidance on, okay, for this thing you want, this is how to go about it, and then you would achieve it. I didn't even know that. I was just showing up, doing stuff. Oh, let me try this. Okay, this might click. And then somewhere along the line, something clicked. So that's how I'll say my journey has been. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I did other things that were not what I wanted to do. I tried other things, and then I finally got what I wanted to do.
That's like pretty interesting. Having that mindset that, I want to do this thing, you pursue it despite irrespective of where you are currently.
Yeah.
Some might just need that, okay, this is not my final bus stop.
Yeah.
But then, okay, I'm going somewhere. What do I need to do? What do I need to learn, right? I also want to take you slightly back a bit, right? To know what was happening around the period when your daddy passed,
Okay.
right? Because you had been someone that from your mom's shop, you've been trying to sell stuff while in school. Yeah, maybe not a lot from part 1, part 2, but then in part 3, losing your dad, what was it like for you in that period? What did this spark within you? Like, how has that like impacted how you pursued your career, life, and even business?
Okay, so before my dad passed, I would say I was kind of raised with a silver spoon. Not like I was flying abroad or anything, but my dad worked a very good job. So I had everything I needed. Like, we had a driver that used to drop me at school. Like, I went to boarding school, but like a lot of people that we were in school together used to take buses home. But I used to get picked and all of that. Like, whatever excursion we were having, it was not, I was going. I didn't need to deliberate whether I was.
Think whether it's not going to
Yes,
happen or not.
my classmates knew that, you're going. So I had that kind of life up until university. So after I passed, I would say like we had to reevaluate a lot of all these things because first of all the luxuries, the driver, this, that had to be gone because I would say my mom was not as financially buoyant as he was. He was the main like breadwinner. She was also trying. I mean, she raised me. She continued where it stopped, and she still paid for 2 years of my school, a private uni. So, our effort is very good. But like some of the luxuries had to go. But still in school, I still didn't feel the need to dabble into anything because I still had a parent.
Yeah.
The luxuries were gone, but she tried not to make it seem gone.
So much.
Yes. So I didn't actually need to do anything. Even during NYC, I didn't need to do anything. I was just collecting my allowance and spending my allowance like that, doing my thing. Then the church where I was going was also very supportive. Mm-hmm. They were giving me pocket money every month, 10,000 naira, I think. That was also, it's been a long time, 2009. Yeah. So that also went a long way. So I didn't really need to do anything like that. It shifted a lot of things for me that I can't even say, but I was able to persevere. It was not crazy. Like, it was not from 100 to 0. It was kind of like from 100 to like 55. Still bad, but we're going on strong. So I didn't feel the need to like, leave home to feed home. No. It wasn't that bad, right? It wasn't bad. But I had to recognize that the luxuries were diminishing and were not coming back except a miracle happens. So I'll say that was the journey around when my dad passed. But when I finished and saw that the connections were not coming through was when I started, picking back things up. Like, okay, you know how to do stuff. So start selling things and start bringing in some money even before you get a job.
I can just like imagine what that feels would have been like, thinking that, once I'm out of school, different job offers, I just need to pick the best one, then having to see that.
It was so heartbreaking, actually. And this is which is what I preach it now. Like, I tell people, like, it depends on your own self. Like, have plan B. Have plan B, because I was like, nobody knew my dad would pass. So it was so shocking that my life took that trajectory. Like I didn't imagine that I would go through that. So I just always advise people now, like, you might not even know what you want to do now, but just keep going. Just do positive things. Like create the habits. They will become something big by the time you need to, do something better.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Just do something, keep moving, and be flexible, right? Yeah. You might think that, oh, my life will go this direction, I'll get this opportunity here and there, and they might not come. But then if you are flexible and you are just still, and you keep on putting in the work, eventually opportunities will show and you'll still become whatever you want to become in life. Yes. Yeah. So from the first major tech job that you got down to your current role as a solutions engineer. So what was the journey like still, right? Were they pivotal decisions you had to make, courses you had to take, and also take us a bit into what a day in the life of a solutions engineer looks like?
Okay. All right. So my first tech job was as a support engineer. Okay. Basically, when I got the job, they trained us. As a matter of fact, what I applied for was like a technical customer service representative. And then the recruiter saw my qualification. I was like, oh, you study computer science. Would you like to take the exam for this like engineer role instead? And if you pass, I would progress you to. And I was like, yeah. I mean, I already took the test for the previous one and passed. The guy was like, I mean, and if you fail, you still have the one you applied for because like you already passed that one. And then it was one more stage left. Once I had passed it was 3 stages in the interview. The first recruiter stage, the technical stage, and then the actual hiring manager stage where they would decide if you're accepted or not. So I'd already gone through 2 stages and it was like, well, with your personality, I think you would even pass the last stage, but you study computer science, come take this test. I was like, yeah, I'm interested. I took the test.
Hello, sorry for the break. I know you're enjoying the episode. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please just hit the subscribe button, click the like button, and also leave a comment. Share it to friends and family. It goes a long way to help the channel. You can get right back into the video.
I'm past it. That was like a life-changing for me because, I mean, I could have been at the other one and then I took this one and I got it. So that was like, it was a more technical role. And I was like, yes, I'm excited about this. So they trained us, like it was a Microsoft support work. Even Microsoft had to send like their engineers to train us in Nigeria here. So I was excited. I was even like among the trainees. So the work started. It was a rough start, but then I blended in like very easily and then fast. And then I was, killing it at the role. And I was there for some years. And then when I was there, that job opened my eyes to opportunities in the tech world. Like, I actually remember that I've always dreamt of working remotely. In fact, I remember when I was in the previous job that was non-technical, it was a physical job I had to go every day. So I was with a lady one time, we're just talking about future. I was like, my dream is to just kind of do a job where I can work from anywhere. Like literally be on a beach, open my laptop and I'm working. And she was like, just such job exists. I was like, yeah, they exist. Like, even digital marketing is something like that, engineering, blah, blah, blah. She was like, wow, like she couldn't fathom me. Like she just didn't understand. After starting my tech job, I was like, this life is actually possible because what I'm doing in this role right now can be done from anywhere. I don't need anything in this facility. Nobody comes to me to get anything done. Everything I'm doing, I can do with my laptop. Even communication with people in the same building is online. I don't go to people's seats.
To not meet them.
Even someone I'm looking at, the only thing I can do sometimes is check Teams, We're using Teams at that work. Okay. The only thing I can just do is, please check Teams. So the communication was online. I was like, okay, so this job doesn't even need anything. And then COVID hit, right? We were all like in a hotel, meaning that we still could work anywhere because we left our office. We were in the hotel. We still didn't need like any physical. Nobody was coming to us. So I was like, okay, I think I can actually realize my dream with this line of work I'm doing. So I taught myself a lot of things. As a matter of fact, working in tech makes you teach yourself a lot of things. I taught myself a lot of things. And then I got really good, really, really good in that particular line of work. And then I told myself, okay, I need to work another job. I need to that job was Microsoft focused, and I wanted to be employable at large. So I told myself I needed to learn like several other things. And the next job I got was dependent on one particular skill that I learned on YouTube. That was like the only difference from me getting the job, because I wasn't using that skill in my current job, and they needed it heavily in my new job.
It was something that you found on YouTube and had learned.
Yes, I learned. I self-learned it. And in fact, in my current job right now, they kind of see me as the best at it. But that was my foundation. Of course, on the job, I got better. But I learned it on my own. And there are a lot of free resources out there. As a matter of fact, now I'm a believer of try free resources before you do any paid stuff to even advance your life. Like, there's a lot of resources. People have taken time to put things on YouTube, free courses like in several places. So I learned that to get the other job that I did. That was not a fully remote job. It was an hybrid job. But I told myself, okay, you're getting there. Okay, physical, hybrid, just 2 days in the office. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting to that life.
Until it becomes full.
Until it becomes. And then from there, I pivoted into my current remote job, which again, I was really, really intentional about. I had to learn more skills too, both before the job to land the interview, and I also had to learn more skills to keep advancing in the job again.
So interesting. So from what you just said, having that mindset that just having something that I still want to get something bigger keeps you going to looking for what should I learn, how should I learn. And I still love the points where you raised that there are a lot of free resources out there.
Hundreds, thousands.
Free resources can be in form of articles, videos. People have created a lot. It's just for you to know that, what do I need at this point in time? And going out, whether it's videos, before you now say that, okay, I can't find it anywhere free. Let me now go for a paid course.
Yeah.
But then how do you, now you knew that, okay, I needed to learn this. Did you have anybody you were looking at? Maybe you looked at their current roles, you saw what are the things they can do that I need to learn? Or is it that once you just meet a particular blocker at work, say, I need to learn this thing. How do you know what to learn next? Do you have any mentor that sort of guided you?
Okay, first of all, no mentor. Up till now, no mentor. I don't even know, I don't think a mentor would have, I don't know about business, but for tech, I don't think it's possible to rely on a mentor in tech. I might be wrong, but I don't think it's possible to fully rely on a mentor in tech, because even your mentor needs to keep up or else they're out.
True.
So first of all, I learned things on the job. Problems will come, and then you find out, okay, I'm sure somebody must have solved this before. And then you dig through the internet and then decide, okay, if I know this, I'll be able to resolve this. And then that's how you start learning stuff. Sometimes you can learn a little bit of something and it looks interesting to you and you're like, okay, I want to be an authority on this topic. And then you take your time to fully learn it. So a little bit of something can cause you to be interested in a topic, like a problem at work, but fully learning it has to be you deciding. And another thing that tells me what to learn is, for example, if I see a job ad I like, and I see, okay, I'm 80% qualified. So what's this 20%?
Okay, I don't have yet.
Okay, I would like to look into this topic to see if it will make me more employable, or it will even help me in my current role to dabble into things I currently don't take responsibility for. So those are one of the things I do to know what to learn. So basically problems at work, job ads, and then also just interest generally. Yeah,
and that's very, very important, especially in this age of artificial intelligence. A lot of things are changing very, very fast. So you just must be on the top of your game. Is either you're looking out for how can I improve, what can I do better, can I do it faster?
Optimize everything.
Very, very important. But I still want you to give us a bit about what it looks like.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people know back end, front end. So what is your role like? Solutions engineer, what do you do?
Okay. So I'm a technical solutions engineer because I feel like some other companies, again, roles now in companies are funny. Some roles in this company, this is the requirement. It's funny nowadays, but the world is changing. So for me, I would say I'm a technical solutions engineer. My job basically is to make customers adopt a SaaS product. a software product. Let me use Slack as an example.
Sure.
Because I think everybody knows Slack. So let's say, for example, I work as a solutions engineer in Slack, and the salesperson, the account executive, is trying to close a deal in Slack for a very large enterprise, because my job mostly deals with enterprises. So there's something called the POC stage, proof of concept. You're trying to show the value of your product, right? So if it's a very big enterprise, the salesperson, has gotten to a stage where, okay, they're talking to the client, and then the client is an enterprise where they're not just trying to plug into the product and start using it. They need to tweak a lot of things. They need to
make it custom.
We need to answer a lot of questions. They need to onboard people automatically. They need to do things like auto provisioning. They need to do does this work with this other product? How can we integrate it with these products we have currently? So that's where I'm brought in. So first of all, look at the architecture to determine how my product would fit. One, solve the problem they have. Two, fit into the enterprise architecture they already have in their organization. See how we can connect, work with their developers, their system administrators to see how, okay, if we decide to move forward with this, where would this sit with this other thing that we currently use? How would they work together? Do they communicate? Okay, it doesn't communicate with this. How can we? So a lot of things to make it perfect. That's where I come in with that. So we do that. The client has started using the products, right? Sometimes in the middle, six months later, they're very big. Let's say, for example, they give us, let's say $100,000 annually. I mean, they're big. And then 6 months down the line, they're like, oh, we want this new thing. We want something else. So my job is to actually evaluate what they want and decide how I want to go about building it. So sometimes I build it with tools that don't require us to change anything in our core products. Yeah. I build it custom and then just tell them, oh, I've done something like a patch. Use it like this. I'm like, oh, we love this. Or if it's not something that works as a patch, I would have to work with product engineering team to build it as an actual product feature. So all of those things are part of what I do as a solutions engineer. So I make the product sticky to the customer such that even if they want to cancel the subscription, they have to think about, we've connected it to this. We've connected it to this.
How valuable
it's valuable like this. For us to even change vendor, as in it go hard. You understand? To change vendor, you think of all the customizations you've done. Yeah. So that's primarily my job. However, I have hundreds of ad hoc duties, investigative duties. Oh, somebody did this in our products. I have to kind of do pulling data of audit log. Oh, we want to be able to see this data this way. So I have to customize reports. So it's a multi-skill role. I know JavaScript, I know SQL, I know Google Apps Script, I know automations, I know API. And you kind of just have to know all of those things. And normal, simple web development, everything. Then you have to now be good at customer facing. A lot of developers are not good with customer facing. They don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to code. But then as a solutions engineer, you will code and you'll still be, customer facing. So it's kind of a little bit of both. Yes, tech and business. So you still have to be able to communicate. Yeah. That customer facing side has to be there, but you still have to be really technical because you have to know all these things. So that's kind of how it did in my life. So I resume work, check Slack and see all the problems they've given me, check emails, check Jira to see all the tickets I have, and then start working on them. And then of course I have some carryover work from the previous day that I try to get done. I have a lot of tools I use as co-pilots, AI, some forums. I have my own internal knowledge base that I've built to make life easy for me, recurring problems that are there. I just found a way to just, build a knowledge base. Okay, when I have this problem, this is what I would naturally do. So that's a day in my life for my tech job.
Pretty interesting, right? Going through all of that. And which is actually very good for the fact that you've had to add up a lot of skills along the journey. Still shows that it's now very valuable now. And that client relationship aspect. So I think that for maybe any developer that might be watching or listening to this, I think they would also get to know that if at all they want to maybe evolve into this kind of role, they now need to solidify their client relationship.
Yeah.
And they're making sure that
Very
business is handled well,
Yes.
client relationship, and then their technical part also
is also up there. Because now AI can code,
yeah.
but
so
that relationship,
yes, like very,
very valuable
important.
now.
And like sometimes maybe that differential.
Yeah.
That make them say they're gonna keep you interesting. So before we like leave this aspect, right? What like the most rewarding part of your current role?
Like, I'm so proud of myself for achieving this, remote work thing, because I have work-life balance. Again, I'm a new mom. My baby is 1 year, 3 months. The only reason why I've been in her life all step of the way is because I'm literally home all day. I'm at home. If I need to go out, I can go out with her. Like, I can walk anywhere.
That's okay.
That work-life balance is there. So that's the most rewarding part of my job for me, the work-life balance. Being able to spend time with my family, being able to know what's going on in the lives of my family, my loved ones, without drowning in work.
Yeah.
So that's the most rewarding part for me.
That's a very, very interesting place to be in. So let's now talk about business and then even a family also, like being a mom, your family, like juggling all of them together. Let's start from your business, right?
Okay.
Kikillet Jewelry. What has been the journey like building out of Lagos, building a jewelry business, interacting with clients? Yeah, what was it like? I know Lagos can be chaotic from infrastructure issues, logistic issues, client issues, typical Nigerian issues with money and deliveries.
Yeah.
So what was it like? What was the journey like?
So the journey has been a roller coaster. However, what made it bearable for me was because starting Kikillet Jewelry, even up till now, is not like my one and only source. So I'm able to be honest with clients, set expectations, delivery timelines, and everything. And also I can just come straight with clients. Like, okay, for example, today is raining. Today is not same day delivery, So yeah, basically just setting expectations. Like I feel like a lot of business owners they have just that source. So they take some measures that are unethical just because they want to get the money by force. So I, on the other hand, I'm always ready for a refund. I'm always ready to return your money. I've never had to, funny enough. Maybe I've had to once or twice, but it's not from bad service or whatever. Probably, the ring is not my size. Oh, you don't have any other one, maybe. But not from, this brand, give me my money back. Because I've always just been approaching the business with, common sense. I want to give you the best. Yeah. I want to make money. You also want to look good while we're in the product. But let's set expectations. We know how Lagos is. And then with time, I feel like with time, you kind of just know how these things work. For out of Lagos, I know how I handle my deliveries. For Lagos, I already know trusted deliveries for different locations. So it comes with experience. And then, that's basically, there are a lot of other factors that I have to deal with, but I feel like I take them one step at a time and then just build it like that. And it's been 5 years and it's been great. I don't think I've ever had any experience that actually made me cry because of the way I approach the business. And I've built trust because of that. I feel like a lot of my customers over the years have like, oh yeah, I know this brand. They don't do that. They refer, so that's my advice. Like when you're starting a business, if possible, don't start with loan money because that's the one that will make you start taking drastic measures, trying to do everything that will make them start dragging you online, I started with my money. And then I started with my money that I saved. I started with 500K that I saved from my money. So yeah, I started in 2021. Yes, 2021. So I started with my money. I told you I'd been researching for 6 months. I'd kept the money, done different things, packaging. So I started with my money. I was like, okay, if it fails, it's my money. If it doesn't fail, thank God. So it didn't fail, but then it was still my money. So I wasn't, first of all, trying to pay any loan back. Several times my husband would be like, let's invest in your business. Don't worry.
Let me continue.
Don't worry. I have money, don't worry. So that peace of mind is also something that would help. Don't do more than yourself and deliver like quality products. So yeah, I don't let the Lagos factor frustrate me too much. And I set expectation. Then I think my experience in corporate helps me to relate to customers better.
Right.
Very respectfully. Even if anyone is working for me, I tell them like for example, my customer service, like this is how you reply. This is the tone you use. You know, you're not a Lagos Island vendor, so to speak. Just, add some decorum into your response to people. And I feel like that has also kept people coming back because they know that there's no disrespect. I buy things from a lot of business owners too, and I see some of the responses and I'm like, really, are we fighting?
Yeah.
I'm trying to buy. So I don't add all those kind of things to my business. There's a lot of decorum, and I think my corporate experience
also helps
shows in how I handle the business too.
Yeah, so we'll come back to working with people and trying to get them to reply customers in a certain way, because you already know that these are the right way to do things, and trying to get them to also do it. We'll talk about that, but let's talk about even before even starting. You spend a good time doing research. What was it like? How did you do the research? How did you find? Did you have more than one business direction you wanted to try out? Yeah, but what was that research space like? And how did you do that?
So I chose jewelry.
Okay.
I already knew it was jewelry.
You wanted to go for jewelry.
However, how do I go about it? I don't know. Nobody was giving any blueprint. In my mind, I was like, wait, do I go to Lagos Island and buy jewelries and start selling? I'm like, no. I don't want Lagos Island jewelry. Because what would differentiate me from every other vendor? That means we're all buying from Eco.
Same source.
What is my unique selling point? So I decided, okay, let me just make some research. I need to find factories. I just need to find things that people be like, see and be like, oh, I like that. Yeah.
Unique.
Things that are actually classic, things that people with, some class can wear, that they would like, see and like, and things that look beautiful. So I did a lot of research, did a logo. In fact, I didn't even know how to use Canva at that time. Not like I know how to use it now, but I just put one font, put one other whatever, I made a logo. I still use that logo too. That was the same logo too, because I feel like it's timeless. So I made a logo during that time. I don't even purchase anything at all. I was like, okay, this logo, what kind of packaging do I want to have? What kind of, I just thought it out like for several months. Then I started browsing, manufacturer factories where I can buy from. What quantity do I need to buy first? Like, dollar was still good that time now. So that 500,000 naira. I don't remember how many dollars it was.
It was then.
Yes, but
the rate had just gone
exactly.
Devaluation.
So I just calculated, okay, this will go for packaging. Okay, the logo, I do that myself. Nothing fancy. I didn't hire anybody to do anything. I just kept, like, during my work day, if I had like maybe 1 hour break or whatever and I'd eaten, I'll just be searching on my computer, the factories, like searching different Chinese factory. Which one is better? Is it this country that is better? This one, that one. I finally concluded on the factory I wanted to choose from. I was like, okay, I think their quality is good. I ordered sample. I checked the quality. I wore it to bait. It didn't fade. I was like, okay. We're onto something. So I did the research. I didn't ask anybody for advice. The highest thing I did was see some other businesses already doing kind of what I want. They weren't necessarily Nigerian businesses, even American businesses doing what I want. I'm like, okay, I can take some guidance from this on how I want my online presence to look. But I didn't hire anyone. I just did my research and was learning along the line of what works and what didn't work.
So what was it like? What was running through your mind? You just knew that I think I can just do this all by myself.
Yes.
No need to be asking one business person here.
I did not ask anybody.
We're not scared of maybe I'll import and then it's not going to come, or I'll get the wrong product. I
was not scared because, again, I used my money. That's 500,000 naira. In my mind, I wanted to pour it inside dustbin. So it was like, hey, it's my money. This money, I'm pouring it inside dustbin. If it yields, that means it didn't go inside dustbin. But if it doesn't yield, well, I intended to pour it away anyways. So I was not scared. Again, I did research for a long time. So I was like that. After this long research, I don't think I should run into any hurdle. So I didn't, because I waited, searched different things, communicated with supplier, like set expectation, asked for what to expect, told them if there's a better one, I'm willing to buy that one. Suppliers, they'll give you cheap one.
Yeah.
They'll tell you But then if you want quality one, they will also bring it for you.
On your request.
On your request.
This is exactly what
I told them, let's not whine each other. Just give me the good one. Give me, this is what I want. This is what I want. So I was not panicking. In my mind, if things didn't go well, again, it's my money. Nobody invested in it. I didn't take one couple, even from my own husband. I was trying to force his money on me. I said, no, I don't want.
Use my funds.
Yes, let me use my funds for this stuff. So I didn't feel any way. But I think that calmness, that attitude, that's, take your time to do something, do it well. I think it has always worked out for me. If you want to do this thing, just calm down, get everything right, and then strike. That's my own policy. Some people, spontaneous. Let me just dive. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, but I did my research and it worked out well for me.
If you had to start a new business, would you go the same approach again?
Thank you very much for that question. The only thing I just always think back is, I told you I dabbled into hair one time. Yeah. I feel like if I had had that kind of money to throw away at that time for that business, because it's a multi-million naira, the profit margin in hair is a lot. I feel like...
But you need a lot of capital.
Yes, but you need a lot of capital. So I feel like if I could go back to that time, I might have just dabbled into hair, alongside jewelry. Because I love jewelry. Or it's not going anywhere. But I'll have added hair because, thinking of what to sell is also you have to think of shipping. What's the weight? Imagine you're selling shoes. Somebody wants to buy 10 shoes to, let's say, for example, Abuja from here. You know what shipping fee will be? It should be high. Fee. But jewelries, you can buy something of 300,000 naira and it will look inside one small pouch.
So the delivery is not going to be a lot compared to...
Yes, hair, you can buy hair of 800,000. It's just been one small stuff like that. You understand that kind of thing. So shipping is lightweight. It doesn't take shipping. The bulk is not much. So those are the kind of things I was factoring when I was choosing something to sell. I didn't want clothes. The size constraint was too crazy. I didn't want to start stocking sizes, size 10 size. And then...
You have to stock a lot of...
You have to stock a lot of sizes. So hair was good. Jewelry was good. So I was like, okay, jewelry. I can stomach the risk for that one. So if I could go back, maybe I would have nurtured the hair business too.
Interesting. Yeah, you're giving a lot of valuable insights. I think that maybe someone out there, maybe a young person, probably listening or watching this episode would find it valuable. Maybe when they want to start a new business, and they can also reach out to you. I'm sure you'd be happy to maybe give them some more things. Right. So I was going to ask that. What are the transferable skills that you've seen come from your tech, interacting with client, business, solving problems to your business? So you had touched on that, where if someone is maybe selling for you or replying to customers, you told them this is how to do it, this is how to do it. So I want you to still shed more light on, what are the things that are transferred, maybe in terms of mindset or how you do stuff, and how important is working with maybe your staff to get them to see things the way you see, reply to customers the way you want them to reply, and just be different from an average vendor in Nigeria.
Yeah. Okay. So some of these transferable skills, as you've said, customer service. I've always worked, all my work has always had a touch of talking to people, and then you can't lose your mind. So I transfer that into my business. Other skills are, because I'm into tech, I feel like I'm able to just figure things out. I'm hardly stuck on anything. I will find it.
There has to be a way out.
Yes, there has to be a way out. I see people, online paying people to fix, Facebook ad, all those things. Something is stuck. I won't pay for that. I will figure it out. I'll go to whatever it is. Whoever is trying to get maybe 50,000 naira from you to help you do that stuff, they also sat down to do something you're trying not to do. So me, in my mind, I'm like, this is what I do for a living. Solve problems. Yeah. So I'm not going to pay for this. I figure out all those things on my own. And then even the old finding the factory thing and all of those things, I feel like I did them online. Digging is my work. Digging for solutions, is my work. Sometimes I try to find solutions to a problem someone has solved before, in tech forums, all these things. So if somebody has, solved a problem before, I'll find it. So that has actually helped a lot in my work. So the transferable skills is like, I solve all my problems mostly on my own.
So I figure it out.
Everything on my own. Like if there's something trending and I'm like, how are they doing this thing? How are they doing this thing? If I take my time, like, okay, this weekend, I'll find out how they're achieving this stuff. I'll find it. So that skill is transferable. A lot of people I see, they're always trying to get updates. Like, how is this? Me, I'll find it. Don't worry, don't tell me. I will, I'll detect it. So I feel like that's a skill that not everybody has. And I don't think it's because I'm overly smart. I think it's because of my line of work. That's what I do. Like, I'll figure it out. Don't worry, I'll find it. FBI, like, even like Android phone is very hard for me to use because in the last like 10 years or thereabout, I've not used an Android phone. Like, it's hard for me. But then when I grab it, I still figure like everything out. Like, for example, transferring stuff. Like, I got my mom a new phone recently and then I had to move. It was painful to do those things, but I still figured it out. I was like, this phone cannot be my boss. I'm your boss. I'll find it. I mean, so that skill of finding stuff, solving problems, I transferred it to every aspect of my business and it helps me. And then the structure in corporate work, I also kind of transfer it to my business too. This is how I do my things. Okay, I pack orders at this time. Okay, any order from this time will be delivered the next day. Any order from this time, this and that. So yeah, that structure is also something I transferred into my business. And then when I'm trying to tell like some of my staff, when I'm trying to make them comply, I just make them see it as like a training. Like it won't take anything from you. It's a training that would also help you. I even tell them, even you can transfer this skill to another work that you're doing. Like, and it just makes you a better person to reply nicely. Like nobody's fighting with you. You're trying to get their money. So draw them closer and, just
give them a great experience.
Yeah. Give them a great experience.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, and once you're able to do that consistently, you find that you have returning customers.
Yes,
business continues to grow. You are happy, they are happy. Everybody is doing
happy.
well. Yeah, interesting. So you had mentioned being a mom, business person, even though you're even working remotely. I know juggling all of these stuff can be quite a lot. What are like strategies you are using to just keep yourself grounded and focused? Maybe family can be calling, baby can be calling, business, and then even your work, even though it's remotely. How do you find a balance across all of this?
Well, I'll say my support system. I don't have any secret. Like I'm sure people are wondering. Like it's just the support system, grandma, the help, the dad, like the whole village are helping. Like I see myself as someone that has a very busy life. There's work, there's business, there's fitness, there's personal life, and I'm big on work-life balance. I like to not feel like I'm missing out on a lot of things. And I also like to be a mother. I also like to be like a daughter to my mom. I also like to be a wife to my husband. So I always try to do all of these things. I'll say one strategy though that I did was not having a baby too early. Yeah, I've been married for a while. And the decision to not have a baby early was kind of intentional for me. That might not work for everybody, but that's just what I wanted. I feel like if I had a baby at a time earlier than when I did, I would struggle. It is not a joke. Like motherhood, even with the work-life balance, even with working from home, even with the fact that
someone that now works on site.
Yes. I have people that had to take their babies to crèche from 2 months. They had to go back to work. That separation, only a mom will understand. That separation is heartbreaking. My daughter is 1 year and 4 months. I took her to school recently and the separation was, like the school is literally on the next street from our house.
You could feel it.
The separation, like when I'm dropping her off in the morning and she's crying, like sometimes I lose my mind, like she's still a baby. So imagine doing that for a 2 months old baby. So the decision to not have babies early and just to kind of calculate it like, okay, I think things will be better in this condition to have a baby. So yeah, and then the village. I have the village. I would not dispute the fact that I have the village helping me out at every step of the way. So thankful to them, but there's no secret strategy. There's nobody that has any strategy. Like the only strategy anybody has is like, if you're not the one watching the baby, somebody else is watching the baby. There's no two way about it. Either the dad, the grandma, the nanny, the help, somebody, the auntie, somebody has to be watching the baby. There's no secrets. Yeah. So I think my village is my strategy. That's how I have work-life balance. You know, I'm able to work, do business, go to the gym, still go out sometimes on the weekend with my friends. Yeah. Be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
The village.
True. Which is
Takes
very important. Just as you said, it might not apply to everyone.
Yeah.
But it's important to just assess your current situation.
Assess it.
When is the best time? And then that support system is very, very important.
Yes.
You won't be able to do a lot of things on your own. So we had a guest to that. Is like a male.
Okay.
Yes, he was talking about having a kid also that maybe around 6 months-ish to 12 months. And he also spoke about how it's as if their entire life just changed.
It will change.
Right? Growth in career to slow down slightly. It's very beautiful, but at the same time, it's also like very, very
it's life-changing. Yeah. Like my advice to young ladies, like don't have babies yet. Like don't get pregnant. Don't. Just calm down until you're like, when you're ready, you would know. When you're ready, you would absolutely know. When you look around you and be like, okay, a baby can fit into all of this now. But if you're still trying to don't do it. Don't do it.
So is there a core philosophy or beliefs that keeps you... Yeah, we've talked about all of the sweet, interesting part. I know there would have been most times, or there would have been tough moments.
Yeah.
Maybe tough moments from family, business, even work, right? So in those very tough times, do you have a core belief or philosophy that keeps you going in those moments?
Well, to me, I just take life as it comes most of the time. Like if I'm having a bad moment at work and feeling like, oh, this situation might threaten my job, I just remind myself of who I am. Like, none of the jobs I've ever gotten were on favors or anything. Everything has been merit-based. Interview like every other person, like applied without knowing anybody. Interview, get your offer. In my business too, you know, I started out with the mind to fail. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, you got this. They willingly gave you the work, or this person willingly, you know, trying to buy from you. So if I'm having any tough moment, I just tell myself, you did it. You can do it again. Okay. In fact, if this job goes, you can get another one. Like, don't let anyone threaten your peace of mind. So when things get tough, I just remind myself of who I am. Like, really, I used to have like imposter syndrome for a long time, but I don't have it anymore because even with myself, I look at myself and be like, you're trying. Yeah. So like that imposter syndrome is gone. It's gone. It's gone from me now. I don't know if it's with age or the fact that being mature now, I'm like, girl,
you've done stuff.
Yes, you've done stuff. Do so like, don't let anybody, you know. So that's kind of how I go. Like, yeah, things get tough, but I just remind myself of who I am, and that keeps me going. Like, whatever wants to happen, I'll pick back up.
And then you figure it out.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, so there might be like a young lady that might maybe just stumble on this episode, listening to you. They're inspired by your story. Maybe a young woman, so married or not even married, they're struggling or they're overwhelmed with their ambitions. So what 1, 2, 3 things would you advise them to do for them to move forward from where they are to achieving their own remarkable expert?
Okay, my current advice for someone that is struggling or stuck or just trying to be better is evaluate yourself where you currently are. Like, be honest with yourself. Evaluate yourself. Don't sugarcoat. You can't lie to yourself even if you're lying to everybody. Just evaluate where you are. Do you have a baby already? Or do you not have a baby? Like, just evaluate yourself to see where you can move forward from where you are. After evaluating yourself, you need to also do some work. I'm sorry, but like the world we are in now is very competitive. You need to have something of value. There's a lot of free resources. Just find a way to give value. I feel like if you want it enough, that enough has to be like enough. Because I know we say it all the time that if you want it enough, you get it. But if you want it enough,
you do everything.
You would go for it. So evaluate yourself, try to add value, and then put yourself out there. Like, go at it with everything that you've got. Because these are kind of things I've done for myself. The current work where I do, I put everything to get it. Like, I know the week of the interview, it was something, but I know that I deserved it. As a matter of fact, I got 2 offers that week for how much work I put into telling myself this remote work this year.
I must get it.
This remote work this year, I must get it. Combine praying to God and fasting with upskilling, serious upskilling, with sharpening interview skills, and putting myself out there. I mean, that's literally the formula, right? So put yourself out there, have a skill first, have something to give out first, and then, put yourself out there and go for it. But, evaluate yourself first, be honest with yourself and know where you have to start from. Don't start saying, oh, I believe in myself. When you have nothing to give, don't start saying, I know who I am, when truly, who are you, by the way? So be honest with yourself and then you can do it. So that's what I'll just say.
Thank you so much, Kiki. It's been a very, very interesting and then insightful episode. I'm sure anybody that has listened will have been inspired by your journey and just the way you summarized it. That if you really, really want it, you can really get it. It might require you fasting and praying, taking time out to study, serious upskilling. And then I love that point you also raised of sharpening your interview skills. Because it's going to be very valuable, how to take interviews, how to negotiate your own payment and all of that. And also interacting with clients too. It's been a very, very interesting episode. Thank you so much for
having me.
So in wrapping up finally, any one last thing you want to share with our audience that you want them to take away? Maybe one lesson you've learned or the biggest lesson you've learned from your journey so far. Yeah, what would you want to just say?
Well, the biggest lesson I've learned from my journey is you just don't know where you'll be in the future. Just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. Even me, I feel like I still see myself as a bigger person in the future right now, evolving. So I don't know what the future holds, but I know it holds something very good because I'm willing to keep showing up and keep, doing what I'm doing. So we don't know what the future holds. The future is brighter. That's what I want to share.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. It's been very, very interesting and valuable. Thank you so much for coming and sharing.
Thank you.
And as you guys can see, Kiki is representing our brand 100%. I'm going to plug in
you can't catch me without
our Instagram handle. So you guys should go shop and tell her that you are from Amazing Explains. So maybe she'll give you some discount.
Exactly. I'll create a discount code for the podcast.
Oh, awesome. And then we'll push it out. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Awesome. I'm sure you guys found this episode valuable, whether you're listening on Spotify or watching on YouTube. We promise to bring top and amazing people doing cool and amazing stuff to just get you inspired that it's very, very possible to do great things from a small place. We are rooting for you. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.